What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another episode of New York City Meets Bama. We are here with Miss Sondra. I'm your host, Chris Merriman.
And I'm Katarina.
We are here to run through some of the adventures that Miss Sondra has had opening her business. Sondra, what is the name of your business? Tell us a little bit about it.
It's called Sondra Falk Couture. I'm actually a women's apparel designer, and I specialize in everything from leather pants to wedding dresses and everything in between.
I love it. Where are you located at?
We're actually located in Las Vegas, 7450 West Cheyenne, Suite 112 in the sunniest state. It's wonderful here. We have a great showroom and a huge workspace that we create all kinds of cool stuff in.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I'm just curious, just because we got a little background here, where is the hubby hiding at?
Oh, he's back in the corner. You can't see him behind the wall. But trust me, he's right around the corner. He's there. Babe,
that is phenomenal.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is.
Hi.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Steven?
You can stay if you want for the
we're
interview.
rocking and rolling here in Las Vegas. Oh, I can. Okay.
No, he can't stay. He can't answer all my questions.
All right, so let's get into it. So obviously, you are amazing designers. So tell us a little bit about your company and what differentiates your company from your competitors.
So I actually started my company in, was it 1995? And I initially started out by designing uniforms for hotels and casinos in Las Vegas. And during that time, it was really kind of fun because most of the hotel and casinos here, everybody was vying for who had the best cocktail uniform, which was it's like your signature uniform for any property.
Cocktail waitresses.
Yeah, and so during that time I designed everything from the houseman uniforms, housekeeping, front desk, the bell desk, valet parkers. I mean, we did everything. But if you were able to capture the cocktail design for a hotel, then your company, really had set the pace and set the tone for other vendors and designers coming in looking for that particular segment of uniform, to design uniforms. And so I loved it. We designed uniforms for almost every hotel and casino up and down the strip for 15 years?
A lot of years.
And then one day, one of the event coordinators at one of my properties asked me if I could design a dress for her for one of their black tie events. And I said, well, I'm really a uniform designer. She said, but if you design, cocktails and all this other stuff, you can certainly design, an evening piece for me. So I said, okay, went to town on that. I discovered that I really enjoyed working with luxe textiles and lace and beads and crystals and sparkle and
Everything that's sexy.
I really fell in love with the higher end apparel. I mean, there's nothing wrong with 65-35 poly cotton. It's a durable fabric, but it doesn't shine like silk charmeuse does. And so ever since then, I was completely hooked on just elevating what it is that my design and my style, my aesthetic. And I just practiced using, higher end fabrics and textiles and trims and beads. And yeah, it was really cool. So that's
kind
of how I started. So then we needed to have a logo or something that signified what it is that I did. And my husband loves all of my artwork and stuff. And he's like, hey, babe, you have this sketch here, from what was 1996? Minerva sketch, 95 or 96. He goes, that would be really kind of cool to have as your logo. And I said, well, if that's the case, what am I going to call my line? He goes, well, your first and last name is pretty cool. I said, but what is it that I actually do? And I went to New York to do a fashion show I forgot the name of the company, but you have to have an interview. And so they take your pieces and they turn them inside out and look at the construction, the type of fabrics that you used. And I remember one of the judges asked me, do you make all of your clothes this way? And I said, yeah, this is how I was trained in school to make my clothes. He goes, honey, this is couture. I mean, that was 30-something years
It was
ago.
Ebony magazine.
Was it? I
Ebony
can't remember
magazine,
which
like
one it was.
1998. Yeah.
So I said, oh, then I guess I'm a couture designer. So I've been Sondra Falk Couture ever since.
Aw.
That is awesome. And then, how did you and the hubby start working together?
Okay, so I think it's my turn to tell this story
You
because
tell the story.
yeah, we've been together for 30 years, believe it or not, right?
Wow.
And so the two of us were in Illinois, in Chicago, at the same time. I was in school, he was modeling and acting. We went to the same bars, we crossed paths. We never knew each other there. I moved to Las Vegas in 1986, and he moved a month after I did. And then I got a job working for a uniform company, and he was modeling and acting, and one of my models came in. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a guy that can wear like 42 long, 33 pant. Do you know, any male models? She goes, oh yeah, I know this guy. He's really great. I'll give him your information. I'll have him call you. So he called and made an appointment to come into the showroom for a fitting. He comes walking in all dapper with his suit and everything. I was like, oh, okay, well, he just elevated everything. And he fit our uniforms perfectly. We just had to, do a little tape here and there. We didn't have to adjust anything. And then the thing was, before he left the appointment, normally you say, thank you very much. Here's the schedule. You shake somebody's hand. You're all professional. And then he leaves, and then you go do your thing. Well, this guy didn't. He gave me a hug. I was like, oh, okay.
What can I say? I'm affectionate.
So we worked together for like 7 years, doing all kinds of presentations up and down the strip everywhere. And then I didn't see him for like 2 years. He was finishing up his hotel degree. And then one night I saw him in a hotel. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, well, what are you doing? Are you with anybody? I'm like, no. Are you with anybody? He goes, oh.
Pretty clear.
Yeah. So that was in 1993, and we've been together ever since. Yeah.
Aw.
Wow. So 93 is whenever y'all actually ended up becoming a couple. Then you started this business, and you said 98? And were
So in
y'all
90
working
90
together in 98?
90, actually, it was 95. I was working. Yes, we were. I was working for a uniform company, and the uniform company really wants I guess you would call it the big fish, the large orders from the
Big
hotels.
six-figure orders.
Yeah, and so there were a lot of departments that didn't require that much volume, and so we were losing money. And so Steven's like, babe, why don't you take on some of those orders yourself? Why don't you start your own company? And it took some convincing, but he really convinced me that I should just open up our own uniform company and start taking all those small orders that nobody really wants to take care of, and we could do those, fairly easily. So in 1995, we opened up the original design studio where we design uniforms for some of my same, clients that I had when I was working for the larger uniform company. But they would give us specialty things, like special, restaurants or.
We did 450 togas for
we
Caesar's
did.
Palace
We did a
for a toga
special
party.
toga party for Caesar's Palace, 450
One of our
togas.
first orders.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a lot of fun. I think that's still.
Specialty stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
That the uniform companies didn't want to do, but was really good money.
Money.
I mean, in 94, the company she worked for turned down $500,000 worth of small production orders.
Right.
Because they only wanted the big, $500,000 or more orders. So I said, you know what, we'll take all of that. Let's open our own company. And we got a pretty good chunk of that back. Because she went,
Wow.
I wrote her a letter of resignation to her company, got a business license, found a retail space and opened up and got to work and started. All her same casino people kept coming to her for
Small orders.
And then some of the bigger uniform companies would come to her to do the design work, and they would pay her a very large design fee to design these enormous programs that they could go then and manufacture.
Yeah.
The big stuff. And we didn't have the capability to do that big stuff. So between the design fee work and the small production stuff, it was really good business.
Yeah.
So does anybody have a
So that
picture
lasted
of
for
Steven
a long while.
sporting the toga?
I have a lot of pictures of Steven in some of my uniforms. I actually do. I still have photographs from all the stuff we did from Valley, Arena.
Show my Caesar picture.
Yeah, oh, I have a lot. He used to actually model for me for a long time. So I'm like, hey, I have a photo shoot. I need you to come in and like try on all these uniforms. Like, okay, yeah. I have all the evidence.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was there.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you obviously do a lot. What's your absolute favorite thing to create?
So, it wasn't until I think it was 2012. I had this. I was on the East Coast, had my own company, and I would do alterations and special bridal designs for this brand new bridal store that opened up in Herndon, Virginia. And one of the brides really wanted to have a dress designed by utilizing her, I think it was her great grandmother's dress. It was like 65 or 67 years old, this wedding gown that she had. And initially it was white, but by the time I got to it, it looked like it was more of a champagne kind of color. And so whoever preserved the dress really did a great job because, all the fabric was intact, the lace was intact, but it was very, very old and very, very, period looking. And she wanted to see if I could update it. And I was, it's a challenge for me because I'd never taken apart a wedding gown and then use all of the materials that were in the dress to create something new. But I found that it was probably the most wonderful experience to take something that, an heirloom, a family precious heirloom that they, trusted you with, to redesign a gown for, a special day. I mean, those things take about 7 months to almost a year to do because, you have to delicately take the garment apart, lay everything out and see how much material you have to work with. And you have to come up with a new design that can still keep the aesthetics of the original dress, but give it an update for the bride. And, it's a very emotional thing for the person when you're working with them on such a precious heirloom. I mean, it's very difficult to explain how emotionally attached you get to the people when you're working on a project like that. And so my first one, it was amazing. It was life-changing for this person. And then, the following year, a request came in for me to redesign another one because that job went so well that, you don't talk about that very much because people coming in looking for a wedding dress, they're either looking for something you have on your floor, can you make me something new and innovative? But when you get an opportunity to work on a family heirloom, it's the most rewarding kind of project to do. I'm going to get emotional just thinking about it because I've got pictures of my ladies and their projects here, and there's just something that you get from that no amount of money can ever pay you for. And you have a piece of that person's life with you forever, and you're part of them forever. So yeah, that's probably
That is amazing.
my absolute favorite thing to do, being a designer, is to be able to do that. Yeah, it's wonderful.
So would you say
it really is?
Would you say that's the majority of your work, or do you get other requests as well?
It's really funny. I thought that when we reopened our location here that we do a lot of bridal work, but I would say 85% of what we do is custom apparel.
Custom wardrobing
People,
for
they're
business professional ladies.
Since COVID, ladies are going back into work, and you can't wear Lululemon to work and call that a suit. So, people still haven't lost the COVID weight that they gained, during that really stressful time for us. And so they come to me because they're not finding what they need in the stores or the sizes to fit their bodies. I mean, I'm a really good, excellent pattern maker, so I can make a pattern for any shape or any size. And a lot of my clients have, not normal body size. And so when I'm able to draft a pattern, make a muslin, and then stand them up in the mirror so that they can see the design in just this basic fabric that I'm going to use as my pattern, the transformation from when they first walked in to standing in front of a mirror is amazing because they realize and understand that you can have clothes made to fit your particular body no matter what size you are.
Yeah.
And look good.
I feel like I feel like in the stores they don't really accustom to everyone, so you have to go and look for the outfits yourself, but at least there's you and people like you that can do that, because otherwise people are stuck.
This is true, and yeah, growing up as a kid, I went to a private Catholic school, so I had to wear a uniform for I don't know how many years, and there's no individuality there, and I've always wanted to just be my own person and set the tone for who I am, and I think that clothing is a reflection of your total personality and gives you confidence in yourself. And so not everybody is cookie cutter, and you go to the store and you see a lot of beautiful things. They may have it in a size 4 to a size 16, but the average person won't fit in that category, and so they'll need assistance in finding the right kind of fit and style of clothing of apparel for them. And I love going to textile shows because I try to find the most unusual kind of fabrics, because silhouettes really don't change all that much. A jacket is a jacket, a skirt is a skirt, a dress is a dress. There's only certain types of silhouettes that you can have, but how you utilize the textiles and the combination and the coloring that you put together, that's what makes the design unique. That's really a fascinating part of what we do in our studio, that we can just take some really cool fabrics, and depending on how you place them in your pattern, to make something really awesome. Yeah, it's fun.
Wow. Well, the same way it sounds like your dresses and what you create are not a cookie cutter. Same thing with your lifestyle and what you've created here, like being an entrepreneur for 25 plus years, and on a top of that, doing it with your spouse. Like, can you tell some of us how that dynamic works? I know a lot of listeners right now are wondering, because it's a hard thing to accomplish, especially for the time, and what you guys have created together is pretty impressive.
Well, the thing is, we have different aesthetics. I'm very artful. I'm very creative. I can look at something, see it, and I can make it. My husband is very analytical. He's like, okay, well, that's great, but how are you going to do this to get to this end result? And so I know that he is amazing at what he does. I have the utmost confidence in everything that he does. And so we really balance each other, because if I get stuck on a design, I'll take 5 minutes, I'll come up here and I'll say, hey, talk to me about something else. And he's like, what's frustrating you? Because he can always tell, well, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do with this. He goes, well, just, go walk around the studio for a couple of minutes. Well, let's just talk about something else and change the subject. And then in about 10 minutes or so, I'll be able to solve whatever design issue I had. So I have a really amazing support system, and I have the freedom to really dive into what it is that I'm doing, and there's no pressure to get it done in like this amount of time. But I always have someone that has my back, that I know that if I really get stuck on something, he's going to be there to help me and to guide me. And I've been able to teach him about what it is that I do, so he asks the right kind of questions when the clients call to make an appointment. It's so funny, because when I hear him on the phone repeating things that I've coached him on, he's like, yeah, I know how to do that. I'm good. Don't forget to bring your underwear and your shoes and like all the other jewelry and things that you want to wear. It's the most adorable thing ever. Yeah.
Aww.
And we have a good time. This is something we've always wanted to do together. A lot of people can't work together, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I spent about 30 years in the corporate world and working in hospitality and hotels. I have all that administrative experience, and Sondra has all the creative side. So I help her on all the administrative things, and I run the showroom and take all the phone calls and book all the appointments, and I know how to manage the calendar really well, because I had to do that for my own career. And that keeps us on point. And then when she has a challenge with something where, something that she's working on is very, very expensive, I can run the numbers and make sure that we're going to turn a profit on whatever it is she's doing. Given all the amount of time and labor cost and materials and everything else, we make sure that it works, and it works for the business. So we're always aligned in whatever it is we're doing, from a creative side and an administrative profitability perspective for the business. That's why we're still here after so many years, because we've always kept an eye on those kind of things. You know, as an entrepreneur, you can sometimes lose track of where's the money coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've always had, been very outgoing. We've had a good relationship with our local community and our support from them, and sales and interest, and just getting ourselves out there has been, really fun for us. And people love to come and hang out in our design studio.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, what's the future
We have
look
a great
like? So
time
are we
all
looking
the
to
time.
expand to a different area, or just deeper into Las Vegas, or?
We're not moving anywhere else. We're staying in Vegas.
Yeah, we're
but
going to stay in Vegas. We've got bigger plans. Our lease on this current space is up in 3 years,
Yeah.
and we're already looking at a new development in the downtown area. It's going to be an amazing, it's a mixed-use retail and condominium tower. So it'll be street-level retail and 240 condo units where we could put our new shop in a larger space and live upstairs in a condo,
Only
50th floor or something.
Only if it has a gigantic kitchen and a closet. If
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
have those two things, I don't know.
You haven't built it however you want.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
plan, but
Yeah.
to stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay in Vegas, and I mean, over 50 million people a year come to
Come here.
Vegas to
Right.
visit. They might as well come visit Sondra Falk Couture while they're here. Have
That's
something
it.
made, on those trips.
Yeah, we have a lot of out-of-town clients, yeah.
Yeah, and you think you'll utilize, so you're going to wait that 3-year time frame out for your lease to expire, or are you going to try to secure that other building before then, or how's that timeline look?
Yeah, we're already talking to the developers on both the retail side and the residential side. So they already checked us out and went, oh, wow, you guys, great timing. We would love to have a luxury goods provider in this space. We're already, they're working on the next set of plans to be released. So we'll look at it and see what they're dreaming up and, get on it now. But, they're going to break ground
Soon, right?
first part of next year, and hopefully break ground first part of next year and be open. Expected certificate of occupancy should be third or fourth quarter of 26, which
Wow,
is about
that
the
took a lot
time
of
we'll
forethought.
be ready to move from here. So
We're already
Yeah.
outgrowing this
gotta
space.
plan ahead.
Yeah.
What happens in the meantime? What if you guys explode?
What are your
Would you
plans?
make a transition, or you think you can handle the influx of customers at your current location?
Well, there's a space 2 doors
There's-
down that's empty.
In our current shopping
Yeah.
center, there is some retail space available. We could probably do a short-term
Mhm.
deal on, and load up with some equipment and get things running if we need to. It's been vacant for more than 2 years, so
Oh yeah.
I think they'd be willing to negotiate.
Yeah.
Get it
We
with a
wanna do
discount.
short-term thing, just to. Yeah.
Right.
So with social media, how do you utilize that to create sales, or do you find most of your sales come from just word of mouth with your current customers?
Well, I was doing social media for our company, and then we got so busy that we literally had to find someone that could take care of it for us. And so we found through one of our chamber partners, we found this wonderful girl that has a degree in marketing, and so we've turned that portion of our social media over to her, and she'll send us the content. I mean, I can't really say that social media has driven business to us, because so far
It gets us a lot of interest and exposure.
We haven't.
Because we don't do ready to wear.
Right.
Everything's
It's
made
all
custom. People find out about us and they look us up and they come and find us.
Right.
What's great is we're now getting people reaching out to us through Google, through our website,
Mhm.
through Messenger. People are reaching out and asking questions, which is really good. And we're able to respond. And we have clients now coming up from California. We've had clients from New York, from Portland, Oregon. People are flying in to see us and do business with us. So they've heard about us. They've seen, we get lots of good comments and feedback on our social media. So that's been good. And we just revamped our website. That just relaunched about
That's
a month
exciting.
ago.
Yeah.
Do you think
Still
that's
working
why
on
you're
some
getting more
bugs.
traffic
Yeah.
to it
We're
now? Is
working
because
on
it's
it.
revamped.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gotten a lot of
It's
traffic.
got a lot of traffic, yeah.
And we're just launching a new email drip marketing program with a company that I'm building all the content and templates for right now. So that's coming online in the next Probably 6-8 weeks, we'll see some of that coming out. So that should, in the next 6 to 12 months, that should have a pretty big impact for us.
That is awesome. So you've got an email campaign going, you got social media going. Somehow you're getting traffic through Google as well. Is that just probably referrals coming to find you and search you that way, or?
Yeah, just doing keyword searches. People are on their phones or their laptops, and they're looking for custom apparel, couture, weddings. We do a lot of wedding stuff. I also serve on the board of the Vegas Wedding Chamber, and we have a site built out on their web platform, which helps steer people our way as well. We participate in a lot of local events here with the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce. A lot of professional ladies have come and found us and have been using our services for the chamber. We went to a chamber meeting a couple months ago, and 4 of the ladies in the room were wearing Sondra Falk Couture apparel head to toe, and they were proud of it, and they couldn't wait to stand up and show everybody. It was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
So, as an entrepreneur, what are your biggest challenges, you would say?
Or were? Because I know obviously you guys been in the business for some time now, so sounds like everything's rocking and rolling now, but you got those stories from back in the day where you know the hurdles, you know the struggles.
Yeah.
Just balancing the volume, you have your seasons and soft periods versus your really busy, wedding season versus.
Right.
So we're trying to keep a balanced approach of, all time, regular recurring wardrobe clients that need custom wardrobe.
And then we go seasonal to the bridal clients.
And then seasonal with the bridal clients, because that's a very seasonal. And if we do custom bridal gowns, it takes 6 months to a year ahead, for that to come to fruition, from the design phase through all the approvals and sourcing of fabrics and fittings. It could be a year from the point where the bride makes a purchase to when they're actually finished with the dress. So
that's why being organized and keeping that calendar is so important.
Yeah,
because
you gotta stay on top.
You have to stay on top of it, because the business will shift depending on what season we're in. I mean, there's nothing normal about what we do right now. Yeah, at all.
But you want to keep a steady flow of revenue coming in and appointments. 3 to 4 appointments a day.
Right.
About 20 appointments a week, and that keeps it going.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's what it looks like now. So obviously you learned that sort of from trial and error of going through it into the past. How did you generate traffic to you before? Like, was it all bridal showers back then? So you'd have a chunk of money come in seasonally, and then it would drop back off, or what it looked like before you figured out this combination of brides and the others to keep cash flow?
Just pounding the pavement and making sure we're.
And we also, we go back in and we reconnect with our clients. Just because they buy one thing from us doesn't necessarily mean that they don't need something else. And so, when I'm having a conversation with the client, I find out about their lifestyle, what they do for, entertainment, do they travel, all of these things, so that I know in the back of my I get their social calendar back in my, by the way, you need a dress for this event, and so and so and so and so and so. And, you do one thing for them, you do one more thing for them, and then they, get the compliments, and what happened to you, who's styling you, oh, I have a secret weapon, you need to go see Sondra, blah, 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 blah. And we get, a lot of our business comes from referrals, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or people just
Sounds
window shopping,
window
and you
shopping,
see
I'll put something cool up in the window.
And they have to pop in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you do a lot of upsells, it sounds like, then, or I guess you'd classify it as an upsell, pretty much a repeat business to the same client, because that is so friggin' smart to look at their social calendar and get those updates, because I would buy into that for sure. Like, you've got, yes, I want to wear that, of course.
Right, because then the customer doesn't have to think about, oh my God, I have to go shop for something for this event. Sondra's got the calendar. She knows the date that I have already going to have a piece ready to go. So,
I mean, perfect example. We went to a Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting event for one of our new business, women-owned business, not far from our shop here. Met a young lady who's into pageants, and she needs a pageant gown. So we convinced her to come in and make an appointment, come and see us. She was in here earlier today. While she's here, not only does she decide she needs one dress, but she needs two. And so she's going to be placing an order for two pageant dresses that she needs in November. She's like, well, I just thought about this one. I was going to go and buy the other one, but no, I just need to have both dresses made here.
Yeah.
And So
Yep. It's because they
once
trust
they get in
you.
the studio and they see the showroom, and
Well, here's the thing. People say, "Oh, I'm a designer. I sew. I do this. I do that." We have a really beautiful showroom, but I mean, what I love about Steven and what he does when the clients come in is he walks them back and he shows them the space. He shows them where the patterns are made. He shows them what a muslin is. He takes them back to the sewing room. He shows them where everything is being, sewn up by our team back there. He shows them where all the fabric books and things are, where we do all the design work. And so when you're open like that, the customer is going to feel that much more confident in your capabilities because you don't have anything to hide. We show them where everything is. And if they have a question, we answer it or as best as we can. If we don't know the answer, we'll eventually find the answer. But, showing a client how things are made and how they work in your business,
once you educate
Yeah.
the client, it
They're great.
really changes,
It changes
their whole
their whole-
disposition, and they see the quality of all the materials
Mhm.
and the workmanship of our samples, and their eyes get really big and their jaws kind of dropping.
Yeah.
And they're ready to go. Usually within 30, 45 minutes,
yeah.
they're like, okay, what do I got to do next? What's next?
I always tell clients, just because something looks good on the outside, you're wearing it, so it needs to feel good on your inside. So I use beautiful silky linings that feel just as smooth as a baby's butt. I encourage them to go over to the samples and turn things inside out. You can, my clothes are made so that you could, if you turn them inside out and wore them out on the street, you'd be perfectly fine. That confident in how I make clothes. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think also bringing them through the store is definitely a good customer experience and customer journey. They trust you, and also they're learning something. They are getting something that they usually wouldn't get from just a regular designer.
Right. I mean, you can go to a department store and look at all the stuff, but who's going to take the time to show you how things are constructed and what we can really do for you? And a lot of people are timid when they come in. Well, my body is this, and I'm menopause, I have that, COVID and weight. And like, it doesn't matter. I said, if you're a pattern maker, if you're a true designer and you're a good pattern maker, you can make clothes for women of any shape and any size. And we do. Everybody's beautiful when they come in here. And I've had that experience making clothes for myself. I want to make sure that I give that same experience to everybody that comes here. Yeah.
I love that. So do people just order online and put in their measurements in like a quiz of some sort? How does it work?
Oh, no.
Have to come
That
in.
stuff does not
Take us through the
work.
journey.
I don't care. I do not care about what any people say, oh, this is going to be perfect. That stuff does not work. It doesn't work. It does not work.
Yeah.
Because just because you have a measurement of somebody's body, let's say it's a size 36. Well, is that a 36B or is that a 36G or D, depending on the size of the woman's bust, right? I've seen people order stuff online. They give them their measurements. They come in and they bring me these pieces, and I'm like, what is this? It's not even a costume. And so I encourage people, if you really want to have a good piece of clothing made, go see a tailor, go see a designer, someone that has a showroom, they have a space, they can show you how to take the measurements. Yeah, that stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, it takes a skilled measurer to take the measurements.
To make them act, yeah.
We've seen one of our competitors
Oh my gosh.
made some suits for this lady. And she actually sent us the pictures. The person who did the measurements didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-mm.
They sent the measurements off to some suit maker overseas. The suits showed up about 3 or 4 weeks later, and the fit was so horrible. And I mean, she spent over $4,000 on these
Mhm.
suits. And she canceled the credit card charge and kicked the suits back because they were so bad. They couldn't be fixed.
Aw.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
fix that stuff.
And, we said basically it boils down to whoever did your measurements didn't know what they were doing. Or if we've seen some ladies use those online apps where, the app
Yeah.
scans your body or whatever and tells you what your measurements are. Those things don't know how to take a measurement.
They don't compensate for your
Yeah.
hip. They don't compensate for, your thighs, your curves, your butt, your belly.
They can only do to a certain point. So it is a skill, and when you're a skilled pattern maker, those measurements, every single little millimeter
Mhm.
and
Makes a
fraction
difference.
of an inch matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
You guys make all of this there into Las Vegas, don't you? It's all U.S. made.
Yes, we make everything here in
and
our
all
studio right
done
back
in house.
here.
Yeah, we don't send anything
We
out.
don't send anything out.
It all stays right here. It's all done right here.
So are you
Under
the only
strict
one that
supervision.
are you the only one that I guess creates the design and everything and puts it all together, or do you have extra help, extra hands?
I am the designer for the company. I have 2 ladies tailors, and they have the capabilities and the strong ability to make patterns and or construction for sewing. But I select all the fabrics, the accessories, the materials. I do all of that for each order that comes in. And then I also have a bridal specialist. Does nothing but bridal dresses every day. I can give her the design for something custom. We'll cut it and she can sew it up. And these are skilled individuals that I have. Between all of us, there's probably over 100 years worth of sewing and pattern making experience in this building right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is impressive.
So for that, would you say that they do that together with you? Like, do you guys all sit down and have a collaboration of what you want the design to look like if someone came in and just told you what they wanted? Or do you particularly tell them exactly how you want things?
Yeah. That's my job. I just have a love fest with all of my clients. And so the clients will come in, they'll make a consultation appointment, and we'll talk about what their needs are. And most people can't see in color, and so I'll have to do like a sketch presentation for them. We'll do it in color. I'll research all of the fabric, the materials. We talk about, like I said, their lifestyle, what they like, what their job is, what it entails, because that makes a difference in the kind of textiles that you're going to use to create whatever design it is that they're looking for. And so I do that because it's my brand.
Yeah.
And then once I have a conversation with the client and they pick out what they want, then I can take my design and I can pass it off to one of my ladies' tailors, and they can start a pattern depending on how many clients we have. There's usually 3 of us working on patterns on the cutting table at the same time. Each one of us has a different design. And they have questions about it across the table, so we can talk about it. But
Everything's different. No
Yeah.
2 are alike.
yeah, no 2 are alike.
Yeah.
Everybody's working on something different all the time, which is like the funnest part about what we do.
Yeah.
You
Lot.
should come and have something made for yourself. Yeah.
I should. But
Yes.
obviously, you work a lot. How do you balance the
Yes, you
work-life
should.
balance? How do you balance the work-life balance?
Well, part of the one good thing that I have that a lot of people don't is that I work with my partner and my husband and my best friend. And so,
First of all, when you're taking orders and you're
Yeah.
building a schedule, you don't crush your schedule right
Right.
out of the gate. So don't take on work or business. Be honest with your clients and
Yeah.
say, if they come to you, we've had this happen
Mhm.
several times. Client came in, I need this by next week.
Sorry.
Sorry, that's not
You
possible.
can't do that.
We're currently running 6 to 8 weeks for custom goods and multiple fittings.
Yeah.
Please, when you have a little more time or give us a little more heads up, we can work with you. And guess what? Those clients came back, and they always do, with something else that they need at some other point. So the main thing is to don't crush your schedule from the beginning, and then manage your production. Every once in a while you get a monkey wrench thrown in your schedule. And
Right.
you got to step up and do whatever you got to do. But because we're together and we just get it done, we know what has to be done. Our clients count on us. They know they can count on us. We'll stay here till 7, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night if we need to. We'll come in on a weekend if we have to. We've had some of our out-of-town clients, when they're flying in, will come in on a Saturday or Sunday just to accommodate them, because that's what their flight schedule is.
Right.
And they know
Right.
that they can count on us, and of course they're willing to compensate for that special treatment as well. So it works for everyone, and you just have to be flexible, know what your commitments are. Don't commit to things that you can't do,
right.
that you're going to put yourself in a
And
compromised position.
That's a really good thing, because when we do have clients, instead of saying no right away, he'll come back and say, hey, based on this, do you think we have time in the schedule to do this? I'll look at the production schedule. I look at it every single day. And if we can, work something in for a client, we will. But if we can't, then we just say honestly, no, we can't.
Yeah,
And
every once in a while you get an
yeah.
emergency rush order.
Right.
We had a young lady recently who her wedding gown came in. Actually, her original ordered wedding gown was lost by
Federal Express.
we won't name names,
Oh my
but it was
gosh.
lost by the transportation company.
Wow.
Never
What a
to be
moment.
found.
Mhm.
So they overnighted another dress, but it wasn't the custom dress that she'd ordered with a custom hem, custom this and that. And she's a size 4, and they sent her a size 8. So we had to turn
Same.
a size 8 dress into a size 4 dress and make it look like it was painted on this young girl
In 2
and
weeks.
made for her. So
Yeah.
which we did, and we turned it around in a week.
Yeah.
1 week.
Wow. Aw.
And the bridal store that sold the dress was very accommodating. They helped pay for some of the rush charges,
Mhm.
and because we had to put in overtime, serious overtime, which costs, of course, extra money. And so everybody chipped in and got together, and we helped out our client, the bridal store who referred us. The bride was ecstatic and absolutely
Mhm.
over the top with the work that we did, and her mother, family, everybody was in tears and all hugs all around. And
Yeah, it was a great
and
day.
they're going to be sending us probably a case of wine.
That's awesome.
Napa
As they
Cabernet.
should.
So we'll see.
It's tiring. I mean, I know that we work a lot, but it never feels like work.
Yeah.
It never feels like work.
That's how it should be.
It's a good tired, but at the end of the
It's
day,
a
you go
great
home, it's like,
tired.
wow, we changed a lot of lives today.
Yeah,
And it's a good tired.
it is a really good tired.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. And for all the listeners right now, how is
Yeah.
the best way to get to see your beautiful creations, to get to talk to you, maybe Steven if he's the one?
I'm usually answering the phones.
Yeah. You can go to our website.
You go right to our website, yeah. Go to sondrafalkcouture.com. All of our contact information is there. There's a whole photo gallery, hundreds and hundreds of photographs of all kinds of different styles based on day wear, evening wear, bridal wear,
There's a
formal.
memoirs page.
There's a memoirs page. Make sure and check out the memoirs page. It's a blog of a kind of a process of how garment comes to be through the design process, through the construction
a lot of
process and
fun.
fittings. It's very interesting and very fun. There's some videos in there, and also, just all good stuff in our website and how to get a hold of us. So.
All right. That sounds awesome. Is your location there as well available? Because I'm guessing a lot of these people want to come inside. I know we got the experience, the walkthrough, the customer journey. It was awesome. It wasn't quite suited for my male body, but I know Kat enjoyed it.
I did.
Well, but you had a learning experience. You learned how to open a paper towel holder and change the paper towel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did.
It's like I always wondered how
Yeah,
that
it
worked.
worked.
I did, yeah. I
You're
was like,
gonna
how's
learn
that
something
spiral out
when
the
you
middle?
show up, either from me or from some. We're lifetime educators and lifetime learners,
Yeah.
so we always like to learn something new and pass it along.
That is amazing. Well, it sounds like we will see you guys in about a week in Vegas.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
UTC, Looking
Yep.
forward
Looking
to
forward to it.
Yeah.
This was wonderful, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next week.
Thank you. Yes,
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
so
Look
much.
forward to it.
Have a good one.
Take
We'll see you
care.
next
Thanks
week.
for your time.
Y'all take care.
Bye. Bye. Okay, you too.
All right. Thank you for listening. And that was Sondra. Follow along, and we will show you guys all the things that she has to offer in the show notes. And we will see you next Friday. Bye.
See you next time.